Guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick video today, just a review on these Injora Turbine 1.9 beadlock wheels. Picked these up for my Capra build, and if you see my previous video, you know I use my Capra axles for a little comp crawler build, and I rebuilt the Capra here with Element straight axles. And I have a 3-gear trans in here. So this is kind of a rough, just thrown together build at this point, but it came together really nice. Stay tuned, I'm gonna have a video on this build soon, and then some testing and tuning and some running video. Really happy with the way this is turning out so far. I have a Fusion 1200 kV motor in here, dig, 3-gear trans, just doing front steer, not doing 4-wheel steer on this. I just wanna have kind of a basic workhorse of a crawler build here. But anyway, because of the Element axles are not as wide as the Capra axles, I didn't want to go crazy with the width on this truck, but I wanted something with a little more negative offset, and these do have a -10 offset. So I'm not a wheel expert, but what I understand from it is that a 0 offset wheel is going to have the face of the wheel where the hub mounts in the center line of the wheel. So if you measure, things falling apart, but if you measure the width of the wheel and divide it in half, that's going to be the center line of your wheel. Any offset, so if the face of the wheel goes in toward the vehicle at all, which would mean the wheel itself would come out, it sounds like counterintuitive, but you would think that would be a positive offset because it's positive toward the outside, but negative offset is actually what gives you that deep dish look and brings your wheels out. So if you want your wheels to stick out past your fenders or just a little wider track width, you're looking for a negative offset. So this is -10, and what that means is it's -10 from the center, so it's going to put it out 10 millimeters. Now, that doesn't mean it's 10 millimeters more than other wheels. You would really have to look at the specs on the wheel and see what the offset is. I feel like most beadlock wheels you'll see on Amazon are pretty much like a -4 in that range to begin with. So these are only going to be, 6 millimeters wider than what your average wheel is. But again, it helps really look at the specs, and then you're also taking into account the width of the overall width of the wheel. So this should be a, let's see, just the beadlock ring is 24 millimeters, so that is very standard for majority of your beadlocks that you can find on Amazon, eBay, your RC Lions, your Injoras, your BKR. So, there's so many brands out there that are very similar, but these are slightly different in the way they go together, and I'll show you guys this real quick. They do have different options in terms of this outer ring here. You can get, this is the oil slick rainbow. You can get different colors. I mean, there's so many. You can get just these outer rings. So if you get sick of the look or whatever color you chose, you can change just that. But these go together a slight bit differently, and honestly, really happy. I built 3 already. Super easy the way these go together. You do have these small little flathead tapered screws here, and they go into the back. You might be wondering, if you've built other beadlocks, they usually don't come with anything like that. But you can see every other hole here, there's 6 of them. And that's what holds the face of the rim to this outer ring. So like I said, you can get just these outer rings and in different colors and stuff and kind of customize. And then they have your standard SLW type hub on the back, which of course you can do, just as an example, you can do different length or width, depending on how you're holding them. But you can get different size hubs, and that will also, so of course this one's going to set the face of the wheel out more. It's going to make it even wider. This one would bring it in. So all the ones I had, the bolt pattern are similar enough where you can usually make them work. Every once in a while you find one that's a little bit off, but for the most part, especially if you stick with something Injora, they're all going to fit. Now, this scale hardware here did not come with it. It came with your standard, cap head hex here, but I bought a kit. So I have a giant bag here, and you'll see these other bags. You can get a kit. I'll link this down below. I love these things, man. They really change the look of the wheel, and it comes with a little driver you need, not the handle here, just the tip, and you could put it. This is actually just a cheapy like drill driver that I got, and the tip just fits in there. So it comes with the tip. I got like 3 different size bags here of hardware, 100 pieces per bag, so 300 total. And they look really cool. And they were like, I mean, I feel like they were like 16 bucks or something, 20 bucks for all 3 bags. So really cool. I really like the way that looks. So I've been doing them on multiple wheels. Comes with different sizes. You can do the beadlock rings that have the outer ring with all the screws. You can get the size, you know, it comes with the size for those and everything. So I really like that. And then aside from that, it's kind of a standard build. Once you get these flathead screws in the back, you know, your rear ring goes on, and then you just line it up with the screw holes that don't have those flathead screws in it, of course. And then it's pretty standard build from there. I'll get a weight on those for you. And what I'm doing for this build, these are the J-Concept ruptures. And I am testing out these. These are Proline knockoffs. They're Timtins. I'll link these up down below too, but I think 15 bucks for a set of 4. I couldn't really find a great use. I bought them just for the inner, and I was running hair-bun outers. Couldn't really find a good use for these. They felt too stiff in anything I put them in, but because the rupture is a taller tire, they fit really nice and they feel good. So, you know, I'm going to get out and do some testing on this rig, and I'll let you guys know how well these work. But the inner seems to go right about there, so it seems right. I think these are going to work nice. They're nice and soft, and these aren't really even broken in yet, so I think they're going to be perfect for this truck. But let me get a wheel weight here for you guys real quick. The scale hardware is not going to make a difference. I'll just weigh it, you know. I'll throw a couple screws on there just to be accurate. So they are 80 grams per wheel. It's pretty good. Kind of maybe a little bit above average. You know, there's a decent amount of material on this turbine face here. So happy with the weight. And yeah, let me get these assembled. It's pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna throw the Timtin into the tire here, and I'll just cut this. You guys don't need to see all of this. I'm sure you're all too familiar with it. And then I'll show you how the rest of the wheel fits together. But super easy build, at least with these tires. Zero issue getting the bead. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so insert is in, inner ring is in, and these drop in very nice. You know, I kind of just make sure that little lip on the bead isn't getting hung up. Flip it over, align this with the holes, pop it in there. And as you can see, you can squeeze it together pretty good. You don't need any special clamping tool or beadlock tool for these. You can pretty much just squeeze it together by hand. I like to get these started with a small driver here, and then go over to my electric drill driver. So no Loctite on these. I never Loctite these. I feel like just the force of the rubber pushing out on the ring kind of holds them tight. You can check them every once in a while. I don't really have issues with these coming loose. I did Loctite the little scale hardware for the hub, of course, because that I'm not going to really change too often. And make sure you set, if you get a driver with a clutch, make sure you set it so that you're not stripping anything out. That's it. They go together super easy. I'm really a big fan of these wheels. I think they look awesome, and they build up really nice. You know, I kind of get tired of the ones with the all the hardware around the outer ring. They're a pain in the ass to build, for one thing, and I don't know. It's just I'm tired of looking at them. So something different here, and these go together so much quicker. So I really like these. But that's it, guys. Stay tuned if you want to see, you know, some running video with these, see how the Timtins work out in the ruptures. But man, they feel just perfect. But that, of course, doesn't mean a damn thing, because I've had plenty of inserts and tires that feel great on the bench, and you go out and run them and you're like, this sucks. So we'll see. You know, it's something I could always change up. But yeah, stay tuned if you guys want to see the video on the build on here. I'm gonna have that up shortly. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you in the next video. And in case you're wondering, on element axles, we end up with right at about 10 1/4. 10 1/4 track width. Pretty nice. That's a solid, solid place to start for testing and tuning.